Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review SLY Lives, aka The Burden of Black Genius. And this is a new music documentary coming to you from director Questlove, and focuses on the story of Sly Stone and Sly and the Family Stone. And this documentary really just reinforces that Questlove knows what he's doing when he's making these documentaries, whether it's a concert film or like Summer of Love or something like this that, in theory is much more of just like that kind of music documentary structure of let's have a whole bunch of talking heads come in and talk about this person and, pave the way. But sure, in basic terms, this is that kind of film, and it doesn't really break that mold. But what's really impressive is, this is a slick, well put together film. This film looks great. They do a great job of picking really good footage of these interviews and how they edit this together. And then even some of the interview elements feel a little bit more dynamic than just somebody sitting there talking at the camera. And it gives it a little bit of personality. And I feel like that comes a long way with Questlove, that he isn't just going to be making this by the numbers kind of film. There is a energy, there's a power to this. And the crux of what this is asking is, what's black genius? And does black genius exist? And that's the big thesis of going through Sly's story and getting to this point. And sure, it does the basic, going through his whole entire career, going through his life, navigating his life, and, you get to hear from all the women he was involved in, their children, because he has multiple, and getting these differing perspectives from them in terms of who Sly was to them. And when Dad was there and when Dad wasn't there. You have this struggle of all of his bandmates, some of which are the, other parent to these children, and how enigmatic he could be, how distant he can be, and that disconnect. You see this process of the evolution of their music and why this became so important. And I think one of the biggest things that this film's able to really grasp and paint with some texture is the idea that the Family Stone is one of the most influential music groups for a whole entire generation or two of artists. We wouldn't have Prince and the Revolution if it wasn't for Sly and the Family Stone. You wouldn't have all of these rappers and hip-hop artists without sampling some of these really significant elements of their music. And this film really captures that, and Questlove does a great job of assembling such a varied and, layered group of artists to commentate on this. And really getting an opportunity to hear from the different members of the group and what this unique musical group meant to everybody. Because it was interracial. It was intergender. You had songs where everybody in the band got to sing. And, when I grew up, watching Shrek and everybody singing Dance to the Music, with their karaoke dance party, you get that, and how it's this ensemble of a bunch of different people singing, and it permeates pop culture. These songs have lasted so long, and the meaning and how their music fit into the context of the time in the 60s into the 70s, and seeing how Sly evolved over time and distanced himself, and how that burden really changed him as a person or brought out different elements of him as a person, and how, this group that was so iconic faded away. And it's a fascinating story. It has layers, and I think Questlove does a really great job of pulling this all together and delivering an impactful and engaging documentary experience. But those are my thoughts on SLY Lives, aka The Burden of Black Genius. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.